Hell, see, first production snafu of the day. What's up, everybody? Hello. It's another episode of Command This, episode 312, Steel Showdown. Sounds like a really good name for like a fight pay-per-view right there. Anyway, I'm your boy, Phil. To my left or my right, depending upon which way you're looking at this, is the man himself, Dev, the keeper of the beats, and the keeper of the ganja. Steve will not be with us tonight. Steve is sick again because he does not take his proper vitamins and has 3 young children who, as we all know, are just young children are germ carriers. We know this. But nonetheless, props to Steve. Hope he rests up and gets well soon so he can properly enjoy this weekend's game. Dev, how are you this evening? Well, we'd know if you would unmute yourself.
I don't know what's going on with my lights, but I think it's something on my camera, but I don't have my little screen white thing over here.
Looks like you smeared it with some Vaseline.
Yeah.
There we go. Looking much better now. Look at that. Dev lit up like a Christmas tree. That background is dope. I do like it.
Let me get some lights going here.
It's definitely a nice little background. There we go. Shine the light on us all. Anyway, as we all know, this weekend the Yinzers are in town. All right. Dev, do you know about the whole Yinzer terminology? Do you know about that?
Nope.
Okay, so you know how we both live in the South. Everybody says y'all, right?
Yeah.
Y'all know this, y'all know that. In Pittsburgh, in the Pittsburgh area, they use this, they call it yins. Yins over there.
Yeah.
What yins doing?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. It's kind of like how New York, they have the use thing, use guys. Up there, it's yins.
They say yins in Eastern Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a coal mine steel thing. I don't know. I don't know anybody in West Virginia that says yins, though. So I can't say anything about that. But nonetheless, the Yinzers are in town. Those would be the Steelers. And it's going to be a real test. Steelers are coming into this game 6-2. First in the AFC North. We are 7-2. First in the NFC East. So a team that we have traditionally had our various matchups with in the preseason. We used to scrimmage the Steelers every year. And now we're facing them, and both teams lead their division and are looked at as serious playoff threats too. So let's talk about the Steelers. Who are the 2024 Steelers? Well, I'll give you a little bit of a rundown. They are 13th in points for with 187. They're averaging 23.4 points per game. But their defense is really leading the way. They are second in fewest points against, 119. They are second in the league, 14.9 points per game. It's a pretty stout defense they have, and it's really been carrying them so far. But their offense has not been bad. Either. If you consider the fact that, usually you don't see 6-2 teams having quarterback controversies, but they started off the season with Justin Fields at quarterback. He had a record of 4-2 as a starter, completed 66% of his passes, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. And then he went to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson joined them. And so far, he is 2-0 as a starter. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Very efficient. Has a good quarterback rating of 111.9. Now, I will note that the QBR, which you know is a little different kind of rating, for both Fields and Russell Wilson, is both 53.9. So they really haven't had much of a change in quarterback efficiency in terms of a statistical way. But they are 2-0 so far with Mr. Unlimited. But let me ask you this, Dev. Why do you think the Steelers went from Justin Fields, 4-2 as a starter, turning the ball over, pretty effective quarterback, and then went to Russell Wilson? What do
Because
you think that actually is?
the offense wasn't running on time and wasn't I guess they were winning. I guess they felt maybe they're winning despite Fields. He was getting their offense to A to point B, but it wasn't getting there efficiently to their standard. They wanted to be able to hit multiple receivers. They wanted to be able to spread the ball out. And with Fields, you have to run an offense that is specifically just for Fields. Whereas, if you put Russell Wilson in the game, the rest of the team can actually take part in the game.
Well, I mean, it's true. I mean, Russell Wilson, 36 years old, been in the league since 2012. I mean, came in the league when both RG3 and Kirk Cousins came in. I will note that Justin Fields was averaging 184 yards passing per game. Russell Wilson in 2 games averaging 271. So he is, he's not run the ball much. He's only Russell Wilson, who we've known to be a scrambler and a guy who would do design runs. Only 6 carries for 10 yards so far this season in his 2 games. Whereas Justin Fields had 55 carries for 231 yards. He was definitely effective on the ground. Is actually still the team's second leading rusher behind Najee Harris. Najee Harris is actually having a very good season himself with 592 yards rushing across 8 games. So he's averaging about 74 yards carry, definitely trending towards a 1,000-yard season. Their leading receivers are George Pickens. By far, he has 35 catches, 548 yards, but 1 touchdown. And then their second leading receiver by a mile is Pat Freiermuth, tight end from Penn State. Guy I wanted us to get. Freiermuth has 26 receptions on 31 targets, which is very impressive. For 264 yards, 10 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns. After that, it's a big drop off because there's nobody else on this team that has more than 17 catches. That's Najee Harris. And then it's down to 14, 12, 11. So it tends to kind of drift down after that. Before we go any further into the Steelers, I want to check the chat. Steve wants to know where your boy's at. And you responded and said, no idea. He sent the link. Hey, Steve, if you could post some stuff up on the socials, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. I've been busy trying to produce because I suck at it. Anyway, going back to the Steelers. So the Steelers really are a 2-man passing offense with Freiermuth and George Pickens. We're going to address how that can be covered as well. Now, as far as their defense goes, right now, TJ Watt having another great year, 6.5 sacks, 33 tackles. Their leading tackler is Deshaun Elliott, their safety. And their other leading tackler is Minkah Fitzpatrick, who is at safety, former corner. So their safeties getting a lot of tackles in there. Now, they also, I will say this, they like to come up in the box, they like stuff to run, but they also do a very good job of keeping receivers in front of them, mitigating gains. Joey Porter Jr. Has 1 interception this year. They're leading defensive back or leading person in terms of interceptions. It's going to be Dante Jackson and Beanie Bishop. Both corners, both have 3 picks each. Dev, what say you? What on the Steelers defense do you think is as far as players and so forth are making them as good as they've played this year?
Defense, not turning the ball over.
Well, I'm saying, on their defense. I mean, I don't know. Have you watched any Steelers games this year?
Some.
Okay. Yeah, because their other leading tackler, of course, is Patrick Queen, who we all thought might be a guy we would pick up in the offseason. Instead, we got Frankie Louvu, who is doing well for us, very well. But nonetheless, Patrick Queen been solid for them as well. But nonetheless, as far as pass rush, they got 19 sacks on the season, which is, a fairly good number for 8 games. A little under what you would expect from them. But TJ Watt's got 6.5. And then the next guy on the list is going to be Cameron Hayward, who has 3. So statistically speaking, I mean, I think the Steelers are very much they force turnovers and they don't let big plays happen to them. Of course, we know that Washington compares a little bit differently with them. Washington currently averaging, 29.2 points per game, 3rd highest scoring offense in the league. They're 11th in points against with 189. That stat is skewed a little because they've played 9 games. A lot of teams in front of them, including the Steelers, have only played 8, but they are allowing 21 points per game. They do have one of the largest margins of victory, averaging 8.2 per game. Of course, Jayden Daniels playing wonderfully. He won his 7th Rookie of the Week award. That already ties him for 3rd most all time. Now, I posted this on Twitter, or X, as we're going to start calling it now. Since now Elon Musk will officially run the world, I guess we got to call it X. But
Elon Musk is essentially Cobra Commander. He's the same character.
Yeah, well, I guess I was a Cobra fan all along. I do like Elon. I love
Elon
anybody who can capture a damn spaceship coming back down to Earth. I will always give that. But anyway, so Jayden in 9 weeks has tied for 3rd most Rookie of the Week awards in a season with RG3, Alvin Kamara, and Gardner Minshew. You would not think that Minshew would be on that list, but his rookie year was special. 2nd most is Justin Herbert with 8. The record is Big Ben Roethlisberger with 9 his rookie year. So, again, that's a Steeler that holds that award. However, we have 8 more weeks left in the season. I think there is an opportunity here for Jayden to easily set a new record.
And by the way, Big Ben didn't start the season. He came in for somebody and took over.
He took over week 2.
Right.
Yeah. But so he did his in 15 games. But Jayden's done 7 and 9 games. I mean, if he does 2 more weeks, he ties a record in 11. I think Jayden, realistically, if he keeps up this pace, you really have to consider Jayden Daniels having one of the greatest rookie seasons of any position of all time. There are very few who can challenge that particular.
Randy Moss's rookie year, boy.
Randy Moss, maybe, but again, wide receiver versus quarterback.
Clinton Portis.
No, Clinton Portis had a great rookie season, but
he led the league in rushing.
Would you consider it an all-timer?
Yeah, he led the league in rushing. They got like 1,600 yards or some crazy shit.
It was like 1,500, yeah. The only one I think of besides Moss is
Chuck Woodson had a good one.
That kind of comes to mind is Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson.
Actually, I will say this, Adrian Peterson really took off his 2nd year. But his first year,
Marino.
On what?
Dan Marino, that whole rookie class was probably the greatest.
Marino's rookie year wasn't that great. It was his 2nd year.
He got to the Super Bowl too. It was rookie year.
That was his 2nd year.
What's the name?
84.
That was the greatest.
That was
That's probably the greatest rookie class.
83.
Jim Kelly.
Here's the crazy thing. Everybody wants to compare your
Kelly,
next
John
quarterback class
Elway.
to 83. Yeah.
Jim Kelly.
Yeah,
2012 was a dope when everybody just got hurt.
Yeah.
Kirk
But that's part of that. That's
Luck,
part of that.
RG3. Dude that played for Miami, what's his name? Went to Tennessee.
Tannehill.
Yeah, Tannehill. They had some guys, man.
But I mean, you got to think of it this way: there were 3 Hall of Famers in that 83 class. All right, Elway, Jim Kelly, Ken O'Brien. Not only that, but you had, and Dan Marino.
Dan Marino, yeah.
Not Ken O'Brien. Ken O'Brien was a starter for a long time for the Jets. Took them to the playoffs multiple times. Tony Eason helped lead the Patriots to a Super Bowl. They got killed by the Bears.
Yeah.
Todd Blackledge is the only one that really didn't have a career worth mentioning. And it's a shame because he's a Penn State guy. But nonetheless, I mean, 5 of those 6 quarterbacks were playoff quarterbacks or beyond. Marino went to the Super Bowl. Jim Kelly went to the Super Bowl a bunch of times. Never won. John Elway went to the Super Bowl a bunch of times and then finally won 2 at the end of his career. And then, like I said, Eason went to the Super Bowl. Ken O'Brien, hell, the Jets could have gone to the Super Bowl a couple times with those teams. You know, they were good enough to do it. So that 83 class, I don't think anything stacks up to it. But at the same time, you know, every draft class comes out with a bunch of quarterbacks they want to compare it to 83. 2021, God, everybody told me that was going to be the greatest one ever. I still haven't seen it. I think most of the draft picks have been a bust. However, this year is looking promising. 2024 class between Jayden and Caleb and Drake May. Drake May's shown some stuff. I mean, he still makes rookie mistakes. Drake May showed me some stuff. I mean, he looks promising. And then, of course, J.J. McCarthy got hurt. And Michael Penix is sitting the bench because Kirk Cousins is, you know, looking like regular season Kirk. I can't wait to see that Falcons game, by the way. I'm going to be down at that Falcons game next to last game of the year. But anyway, so moving on to injury report, which I have up here. Let me see if I can get that pulled up. Go away. So, unfortunately, let's see if I can get this a little bit bigger. All right, let's share this screen for you. Let's take a look at the injury report. So, right now, let's look at the Commanders first. Cleve Farrell was limited on Wednesday, did not practice on Thursday. Marshawn Lattimore, day-to-day with a hamstring. We just picked him up. So let's talk about that. Marshawn Lattimore, 28 years old, and is a 4-time Pro Bowler. Will probably not play this week due to that injury, and probably a good thing as well. And I wish Hogs Haven would kill some of these ads. But nonetheless, Marshawn Lattimore, we'll talk about him here in a minute. Cornelius Lucas did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. I don't feel so bad about that because Brandon Coleman proved he can go full game. Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, Brian Robinson, all limited. Which, I mean, considering the fact that Armstrong didn't play last week, neither did Robinson, you know, it's a concern, but hopefully they can make it happen. Dante Fowler, desperately need to have him out there because he's been our best pass rusher. Austin Seibert, we were holding our breaths because he did not practice Wednesday, but he was limited in practice on Thursday. It looks like he'll be a go. Andrew Wiley was limited in practice. Our favorite, you know, name on the team, Colson Yankoff. Pause. was limited in practice today, and he just showed up on the injury report with that. Tyler Biadasz, full participant in practice. He was limited on Wednesday, so that's fine. And Noah Igbenagi, he was full practice on Wednesday and Thursday. He should be a good go. Now, Steelers. Terrell Edmonds did not practice due to illness. He would probably be a good to go. We'll see. Cameron Hayward did not practice. He was taking a rest day. Michael Pruitt did not practice. That's not a huge loss because of Coach 6. He's a backup tight end. Other than that, Nick Herbig, who's a linebacker for them, was limited in practice. Everybody else was a full participant, including Cordero Patterson, who has not done much for them this year. But nonetheless, Steelers have a pretty slim injury list, so they're going to be pretty much good to go. Deb, any of these injuries concerning to you?
No, not at all. I'm looking at him. No. So Lattimore's not going to play, right?
Probably not. He's day-to-day with a hamstring. I expect he won't play. There hasn't been like an official call on that, but I feel like that if things go a certain way, that they'll just rest him, let him pick up a little more of what they want to do on defense, be fully healthy for our game on Thursday against the Eagles. Shotgun wants to know where's Clayton's at, Dev.
Man, I don't know where he's at. He's probably playing Call of Duty or something.
Clayton was going to be our Steelers fan who was going to join us tonight.
No call, no show.
And he no call, no show. So you know what?
I even text him, told him if he can't make it.
No call, no show, and you're fired.
I even text him and said, if you can't make it, let me know before.
Well, was he playing Call of Duty? Or is he playing Madden, Dev?
He was definitely playing Call of Duty because I was on Xbox. He was on there, showed him on there.
Matchups to watch, Dev. What are your matchups to watch?
Offensive line, specifically our rookie Coleman, who seems to be a pretty good, legit starter, versus their edge rushers, most notably Watt and what's the other guy's name? Highsmith, and then they also got Preston Smith also. So it's going to be tough.
That's another one. They picked up former Redskin. He never was a commander.
Former Pro Bowler too, second round pick, by the way.
Preston Smith,
the last rookie impact second rounder we had
until Cosby.
Nah, you think that he didn't do no rookie year?
I'm still going to give him
that. Sanders still
Sanders still Jerson Newton.
Yeah,
Johnny Newton's really showed up lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that one. But Shotgun's making a deep cut references. Sounds like a remix of Louisville versus Notre Dame last year, Dev.
Well, last year Louisville beat Notre Dame. This year they didn't. This year we lost by yeah. I get what he's saying. Damn. Yeah. Look, I was in a Louisville game versus Notre Dame with the biggest crowd actually sellout. And I hit Clayton up because he lives in Louisville and he said he was at the game. And I never met Clayton. And I talked to him all the time, as much as I talked to you guys. And I was seeing if he wanted to link up, but he never did link up. So he's got a little thing about leaving people hanging, man. So I don't know.
That's funny. Don't you hate when your friends no show like that? Steve says he's an instant Glock Dookie Award winner.
Definitely instant.
We don't do Glock Dookies on Thursday, but if we did, that would be it. No, I get you. They're our offensive line versus their front seven. Because they do get pressure. They do get hits on the quarterback. Not a ton of sacks. Just for comparison, they have 19 sacks in 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
We as a team have 24 sacks in 9 games. So we're trending just a hair better in that regard than they are. But they definitely get more hits on the quarterback. We have 49 QB hits for the season as a team. They have 58, and they've played 1 less game. So they will get the pressure. They don't necessarily get to the quarterback, but they'll get those hits on. No, that is definitely a good one. Shotgun says, "Dude is an AI. He's not a real person."
Yeah.
My matchup to watch is actually going to be our wide receivers, namely Terry McLaurin against their defensive backs. Now, I don't think anybody's going to travel with them. If it is, it's going to be Dante Jackson. But I think Jackson and Beanie Bishop will get time against across from McLaurin because I don't think they do the whole travel thing because neither one of those corners is a shutdown guy. But I think that our wide receivers versus their defensive backs is going to be key, especially because of the fact that we're going to be forcing them to play up. You're going to see a lot of quick passes in this game. I think just because of how much pressure Pittsburgh tends to generate, you got to beat that with the quick pass. A lot of screens, a lot of quick outs, things like that, quick shots over the middle, whatever the case may be, and you got to soften them up that way. Moving on. I am burning through this one. All right, Dev. Commanders win if.
Just ask me that.
Do what?
Just ask me that.
No, I said matchups to watch.
Oh shit, same thing. They keep the line, keep Daniels upright. I think we have a shot.
Keep Daniels upright. I mean, look, that's pretty much been how we've won games, right? It's just we don't have
big turnovers and sacks.
Big turnovers, nothing like that. So no, you're not wrong there. Any other key things we must keep an eye out for?
Well, I want to see a lot of more plays. They got some pretty good receivers. I think they picked up they picked up a receiver. I can't think of who it was. They picked up somebody in the trade deadline, a receiver, right? Am I tripping?
Steelers. They got dude from the Jets, Mike Williams.
Yeah, Mike Williams, yeah. Who, when he played for the Chargers, he was a Pro Bowler, so that guy might still be in there somewhere.
With the Jets, though. Don't you think it's a little odd?
Man, the Jets had a lot of receivers, man, that were kind of like number twos. Like they had Lazard and Wilson. Then they drafted Corliss, and they had the fast dude they already had there in the slot. They already kind of had a lot of the secondary receivers, so I didn't know what kind of role that guy would play. And I think they also got a Cobb also, so last year anyway. So I don't know what they what their whole thing was. They just picked up another guy, Devontae Adams. So I don't know what they were going to do with Williams. So maybe the change of scenery help. Hopefully it doesn't start helping them this week.
Well, I mean, Mike Williams. I don't know. Mike Williams is great as a 2.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a great 2.
But
yeah, I mean, but
they got a 1.
George Pickens is a great 1.
Yeah, they got a 1.
Great 1 can make a 2 better.
Yeah, I want to see what he does, man. They got a little weird to say it. Russ is having probably a better year than Rodgers right now. He looks pretty good throwing the ball. Rodgers never been a bad thrower. I've never thought he was better than Kirk. I've never said he was sorry. I know everybody used to hate me dogging on Russ. I never thought Russ was a sorry dude. I just thought that Russ was black Kirk Cousins or khaki Kirk. That's what I call him.
Yeah.
Beige Cousins.
Deluxe, welcome to the chat. Says this is a tough game to predict matchups.
Well,
it's easy to predict when the matchups are going to be, where the key ones are, but it is hard to predict what's going to happen because this is a very good defense versus a very good offense and 2 very average defenses in the grand scheme of things. Our defense has played better as of late. So is their offense. So I think it's going to definitely come down to it. In my opinion, it's definitely time of possession in this game. All right. You got to limit Russell Wilson's opportunities to do things. He's having a bit of a rebirth in his career after kind of a failed time up there in Denver. I mean, only 2 games so far, but he's looking really good. So in my opinion, we win if we dominate time of possession. That means we are wearing out their defense. We are keeping their defense on the field, and successfully moving the ball against them. I don't care if it's, it's just a barrage of 4-yard plays. I will take that as long as we are moving the ball on them and getting those first downs and keeping their offense off the field. Their defense is not going to make it easy. You're only allowing 14.9 points per game. That's stout. That is stiff. Lux says, "Don't let him deliver moon balls." Yeah, if Lattimore doesn't play, I definitely don't want him tossing up moon balls because Lord knows BSJ, God love him, he tries. He will not turn around and look for the ball, and he'll commit pass interference at least once in a game. That's just how he is. He's too physical, and he gets too focused on the receiver sometimes and not focused enough on the ball. I am hoping that hanging around somebody like Lattimore makes him better. And we've already seen that video of Lattimore working with him after practice, day 1. So that's very encouraging.
I haven't seen anything. I've been to work all day. I haven't looked one thing up.
Yeah, there was
Anything
video.
happened today? I haven't heard it or seen it.
Oh, well, let me see if I can find it real quick because I think I posted it. Maybe I didn't. But there was a fantastic clip, and no, I can't find it quickly.
I heard my family coming in here all loud.
Well, there was a fantastic clip.
Mantastic.
Fantastic.
It's a mantastic. It's Paul Rudd, so you would know that. Steve would know, though. Steve would know that. It's Paul Rudd. Mantastic.
Yeah, well, yeah, the hell with Paul Rudd. Anyway, but I couldn't find a video. But yeah, it was Marshawn Lattimore, and he was standing, like they're both standing in a stance, like they're about to go against each other, like receiver against corner. And literally Lattimore is like pointing out stuff, and BSJ's kind of looks like he's inquiring, and he's trying to figure out, what do you mean by this and all that. It was just, you couldn't hear anything, but you could see it. There was definitely an interaction. They were working on something. So obviously Lattimore, as a veteran coming in teaching the younger BSJ a few things, I will take it for sure. All right, chat. Does anyone else have any other Commanders win ifs? Throw them up there. In the meantime, we will move on. Over unders. I got those here. So we're gonna play a little game of over under. We're gonna talk about some of the bets now. For the game itself on DraftKings, right now, Commanders are 2.5-point favorite. Over under is 45. Just saying. This is where we're at with that. Now,
I think it'll be a low-scoring game.
I mean, it's a pretty low-scoring game. I'm actually right on that button, too, with my prediction. We'll get to that in a second. Jayden Daniels, over under 225 passing yards.
Under.
Think it's going to be under?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Russell Wilson, over under passing yards. 220.
Over.
You think he'll be over?
Yeah. Unless Lattimore's playing, then maybe not.
Najee Harris, rushing yards. They got rushing stats up here. They only have rushing stats for Jayden Daniels because they don't know if Robinson's going to play. But rushing yards for Najee Harris, 70.
I'm gonna go over. We haven't stopped anybody running all fucking year.
We stopped guys like James Conner, guys like that.
I think James Conner might lead the league in rushing, though. Was James Conner?
We kept James Conner pretty well bottled up.
We just got in their ass though.
Yeah. Jayden Daniels, rushing yards. Looking at these numbers here. We'll go 50.
I'm gonna go over.
Over 50?
Yeah. I think Robertson's playing this week, right?
Oh, he's limited. He's limited in practice right now. Deluxe
I'm
is
gonna
taking
go.
Deluxe is taking the under on Wilson, by the way. Tough thing with Wilson is he's in 2 games, he's averaging 271 yards passing, but it's only 2 games.
Well, I also think that we're going to score on offense. I think, and he's going to have to throw.
Okay,
So
that makes
that's why
sense.
I think he'll have to throw, especially in the second half. I think he'll have to throw.
All right, George Pickens receiving yards, 70.
Over. And that's a lot. I mean, it all changes in a lot of more plays. But I'm gonna pretend he's not playing.
That's probably the safe pick. So you're gonna say over?
Yeah, I'm gonna say over on that.
Terry McLaurin, passing yards, 65.
I'm gonna go under.
See, I'm gonna go over on that one. I think he was quiet last game, and if you go with his tend to be big game yards and a lesser game and a bigger game and a lesser game.
He had 2
last
touchdowns last game.
19 yards, 2 touchdowns though.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with the over on Terry on that one. I think Terry's gonna be a big yard. The only other ones they have here are tight ends for receiving yards. Zach Ertz, 40 yards.
I'm gonna go under on that as well.
Okay. You're gonna go under 40 with Zach Ertz?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been a little quieter lately. And then Pratt Firemuth, we'll say 35.
We'll say what is it, man?
Well, because they don't have an over under number. It's like they literally have 25 plus minus 135, and it's 40 plus 200.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't go with that. So I'm like Steve does this too, where it's like he's kind of find out where that middle number is. So I'm gonna say
under. I'm gonna go under that.
With Firemuth,
he's not getting the ball much under the Russ. I got him in fantasy. That's how I know I cut him.
Yeah, he's a steady dude, but you are right with Russ. Russ tends to go to the wide receivers more. So, all right. Yeah, Deluxe says it. Wilson hasn't used the tight end, which sucks because I do like Freiermuth a lot.
No, Chalmers is not. He's not the problem. It's just the it's a different type of offense.
It's not Russ's game.
Yeah, it's a different type of offense without Fields out there, man. He spreads it around.
All right, chat and Dev predictions. We'll say this now. If anyone nails the prediction properly. Oh, let's see here. I have a Sean Taylor limited edition run. It's the Sean Taylor 20. It's a 2021 Panini commemorating Sean Taylor's interception or 2 interceptions against Brett Favre in 2007. That was the game where Favre set the record for most interceptions by a quarterback. So it's a holographic card of Sean Taylor. If you nail the score prediction correct this week, you will get this holographic. What kind of holographic? Sean Taylor card. I know a lot of y'all are Sean Taylor fans out there, so you're going to be interested in it. Phil Bullock jumps in. What's up, Phil and Dev? I was on the clock, stopped in to say, what's up, fan? What's up, Phil? Hey, Phil, drop your predictions. You can win the Sean Taylor card I was talking about. Deluxe, you too. Shy Gun, Steve, all that. Deluxe says that he was at that game in Green Bay. That was a fun game to watch. It was aggravating because we lost. But I remember Taylor getting the picks and then, causing Favre to set that dubious record. And I was like, yeah, this kid can pick off some passes.
Deluxe, man, be making all the moves out there. Deluxe, I met Deluxe and his wife Ann. They were cool as hell.
Oh yeah. Dev found out
that
Deluxe was white. Dev has thought this entire time that Deluxe was black. He's like, wait.
Nobody's perfect, bro.
Hey, you know what's funny? I didn't say it at the time, but I'll say it now. I thought the same thing. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's got, he's got, it's a Sean Taylor in his profile picture or what. But Deluxe says, you going to get me to make a prediction with that card. Yes, Deluxe, make a prediction. All right. Dev, what say you? What do you see as the prediction here?
24-17, good guys.
All right. Dev is, I'm going to start, I got to take these down. So, unlike, well, you know what? I will write. So, Dev says 24-17. All right. 24-17 us. Even though you got, apparently you had the Steelers outgaining us in yards.
I mean, I think the Bears outgained us in yards, or not the Bears, but the Giants, right? And lost.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
I am going with a much tighter game. I actually see it as 23-21 Pittsburgh.
I think we run it a lot. I think that you didn't give me any over-unders for Robinson.
They didn't have any.
Right, I'm just saying. But I would have hit over on 100. If we would have over and under over 100 on Robinson, I'm going 100 over. Yeah. I think they use them.
I'm saying 23-21 Pittsburgh. Shotguns, you gotta pick one. Shotguns gives a score. He says, I don't know who's gonna win. Well, then that's not a prediction.
That's the same score I got. No, I said 24, didn't I? 24.
Phil Bullock going with the same score. Yeah, Phil Bullock, that's Dev's score. Do you want to keep that as well? I'll do a coin flip. I got other cards in here. I'll do a coin flip. And then I'll give away 2 if we win. Deluxe.
No, you can have it if I win.
Made a prediction, y'all.
If Deluxe gets it and we tie, he can have the card.
No, Deluxe. No, Phil Bullock tied with you.
Oh, yeah, Phil, my bad.
Phil Bullock tied with you. I want Shotguns to give me a team. He just gave a score. Deluxe 27-17 Commanders. That's pretty optimistic for sure. Be right.
He's the one before. He's hit one.
Yeah, he won the Emmanuel Forbes mini helmet.
Yep.
Or as you said, it was a life-size helmet. Shotguns. I'm not counting your prediction until you give me a team.
I hope
a team to win.
I hope Forbes learns a lot from Lattimore, because we still got that guy for 2-3 more years. I'm not letting him go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe trade him, but I'm not cutting him. So I think he should sit there and learn from him. And by the way, Forbes has had just as many bad. There's other players on his teams had just as many bad moments as Forbes.
Yeah, so, Forbes is because Forbes also hasn't been out in the field as much.
Right, he hasn't been on the field as much. He hasn't given the opportunity to laugh at him, but nonetheless, he's had Sanders Steele's gotten burned just as many games, and most of the time in the same game. So
but Sanders Steele also makes more plays.
He definitely has come on. But it seems like he learned from it and got better every time. Forbes, I don't think, has been given the opportunity to show he's learned from his mistakes yet, but I think he will. It's still a half a season left, man. I think that we're gonna need. I think there might be a time we need Forbes, man. And Forbes got the only interception, don't he?
No. Sanders Steele's got an interception. We got guys with interceptions.
That's it, right? Well, yeah, BSJ got one.
On, I'll tell you who's got interceptions for this team. So I got stats up. Right now, we have guys all with one. Sanders Steele had one for 38 yards.
Fowler had one.
Dante Fowler, Emmanuel Forbes, and that's it. We have 3 interceptions. Here's the crazy thing. We have 124 yards in return yardage on interceptions. Yeah, so we're averaging 40-plus yards per return. But, yeah, Forbes, Fowler, Mikey. Yep.
Man.
Shotgun says 21-17 Steelers. Keep the card. Just give me you. Pause. Shotguns. What? 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 Just give me you.
Okay.
What do you want from me? What do you want from me? You want me to become a Packers fan? That shit ain't happening. Any other predictions? Be right. Put his in there. I got yours. Be right. 23-20 Commanders. Yeah, Deluxe points out we've had a bunch of drop picks. We've had a number of those.
Almost doesn't count. Brandy.
I mean, look, you know who also had a bunch of drop picks and almost? Aaron Colvin.
I don't think he's any almost.
Yeah, he has. Remember we watched this highlight film? It was a bunch of him breaking up
preseason games.
Those interceptions in preseason games, and it was him like coming in, breaking up a pass by dropping the pick.
For those who don't know, Aaron Colvin played about 12 years in the NFL and never got one sack.
Well, let me see. How long did Aaron Colvin play? Now I'm curious. Aaron Colvin, who played for this team. And Aaron Colvin was in the league for 6 years. He was not in for 12. But Aaron Colvin, who we thought was going to, be all right with. Aaron Colvin had 0 career interceptions and 5 sacks as a corner. If that isn't the most insane stat line ever, he had 4 sacks in 2015, 0 interceptions.
That's what you know.
Washington in 2019 and then we traded him over to Houston. No, Houston traded him to us after one game. Or we traded him to Houston. I thought he was in. I don't know.
I think he left free agency.
No, because he played for 2 teams in 2019.
Jacksonville, right?
No, Houston and Washington. But I thought we had him, and then we got rid of him. He went back to Houston and played 1 game. But nonetheless, Aaron Colvin, one of the biggest mysteries in sports. How do you play 6 years in the NFL and don't have a single interception? 65 games played, no interceptions. 4 sacks in a season, no interceptions. That's an insane one right there. Yep, B right point out Mathis dropped the pick. What the hell is Shotguns on right now? Says your hands is soft like.
What's wrong with this dude, man?
Jiggling.
Change the channel, man.
Wait, hold. Wait a minute.
Don't go into the gay Olympics with him, man.
Nah. Is this what I think it is? Yeah. He's doing that jangle leg bit from Life. Remember Bernie Mac in Life? When his jangle leg? You don't remember that? You ever watch Life?
Yeah, good movie.
Said your hands soft like a lady. He was mumbling it.
Good movie.
My name, Jangle Leg. I know what movie. I know that movie. I was like, hold up. I know I've heard that quote before. Shotgun's threatening to SA me. I'm going to have to report him to the authorities. You can give it a try, Shotguns. I'm probably a bit bigger than you are. Good try. But
Shotgun's a pretty big dude, man.
Is he? Shotgun's a big dude? I was on Shotguns.
I don't know if he's that tall, but
I always got the impression Shotguns was like a slim, like wide receiver type build.
Nah.
See, I don't know a lot of these people in real life, a lot of you guys who are always in the chat, so I just gotta make assumptions. I always thought Shotguns, was like a Muggsy Bogues kind of dude.
You said just Muggsy Bogues, bro.
You know that dude, that 5'3" dude on court and cross you up and talks relentless shit the whole time. I thought that was Shotguns. You saying that's not Shotguns?
No, man. You got Shotguns.
He's been on the pod before. He didn't look like a big dude.
You got Shotguns fucked up, man.
We've had him on the pod, but I don't remember him looking like a big dude.
Say he's like Muggsy Bogues.
All right,
Yeah.
that was a bit of a stretch. I'll agree.
He's
But
out here
I always
roasting
thought Shotguns
shotguns,
was a slim dude, like point guard bill, wide receiver bill.
man.
I don't remember him being a big dude. That was a hell of a quote pull, though. Anyway, moving on. What is good in your life, guys? Let's talk about it, right? So I'm looking forward. I got, of course, the game's gonna be on Sunday. Definitely looking forward to that. So I'll be recovering on Sunday watching the game. You know how dads are. You go to a birthday party for a bartender at their bar, you know it's gonna be nuts. Always is. Dev, what you got going on?
I think my stepson has a band, family band thing Saturday or Friday after work tomorrow. So I'm going to that. I'm going to right after work. I'm going to get my smallest son. He's 11. His haircut. So I'll do that.
It's a haircut. It's a haircut.
I need to shave. I look like a Mr. Burns, the black version.
You got the money?
Yeah. No.
Oh, we got people coming in late in the chat. Look, coming in late. First of all, Marcus Edelin says, "What's up, family? Washington 24, Pittsburgh 21." Damn. Hold up. Now I gotta write that down. Anyway, Shotgun says that he's small now. He used to be bigger back then, right? He says he was 199 down from 260. Hey, that's impressive work. That is impressive work. Yam says, "Hey guys, sorry Mr. Show just got home. Good my life. He survived the surgery. He has a 3-day weekend after tomorrow." Which, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what, Yam? Blessings up to you. I'm glad you survived your surgery. We like having you around.
Shizzle.
Yam. Breathe deep. Inhale. Exhale. It all works out in the end.
Oh yeah, I'm off by the way from December 13th all the way to January 6th.
You paid?
Yep.
God damn, I need a new job. I don't get that.
So
damn.
Gotta get my Madden skills back together again. I tried to play Madden today after little updates, man. And I am trash juice. I can't even stop nothing.
Yam says 25-17 Washington. Y'all are really feeling pretty confident. I like that. I said Pittsburgh by 2. I said 23-21 Pittsburgh. But, y'all might be right on this one. I don't know. I haven't played Madden, like a new Madden, in years. I played the older Maddens.
Man, by the way, we were all right. They did lower Lattimore's rating when he got put on Washington. He was a 91 on Saints. He's a 90. I can't explain.
That's
it,
trash.
It's insane. They lowered him. They lowered Eckler by a lot, and I haven't figured that out either.
And they never brought him back up, did he?
They brought him down a lot.
They haven't brought him back up, though.
70 or something, huh?
They haven't brought him back up, have they?
He still has his star abilities and shit, but he's like rated way low. I haven't figured out what they lowered, but I feel like they do that just to lower their overalls, the overall of the team.
Yeah,
which is lame as shit. Because I noticed at first with Jayden Davis for some reason. They lowered Jayden Davis in school. He wasn't playing well or playing, but they made him like 4 times. They knocked off 4 points off his speed. Like a 26-year-old just got slower. You know what I'm saying? Like out of all things you knock off, he got slower. Come on, man. There's no fucking way this guy just got slower. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta hit the awareness or something.
They still had when the season started. They had Jayden Daniels low the same rating as Jazir Newton and Luke McCaffrey. And Luke McCaffrey is still faster and quicker than Jayden Daniels on the game. And by the way, Derek Forrest was the highest rated safety or the highest rated defensive end or defensive back on the entire team.
And in reality, he's not even playing.
He don't even get on the field.
He don't get on the field. He don't even get activated.
It's weird. It's
You're
weird.
right. I guess it was good in his life. Commanders is good again. He can finally talk ish and back it up.
That's
Isn't
right.
that the beauty of it?
Man, I'm still, like I said, I said I was going to wait till they won 3 or 4 more games a couple games ago till I start bragging on them because, I mean, we've been at 6 wins, 1 or 7-2, and didn't go to the playoffs and lost every one of them almost in. I think if we could get to 9 or 2 or 3 more wins, I'll probably feel real comfortable. But until that happens, I'm going to shut the fuck up.
You're not wrong. Sorry. So we do have a bit of a history on here. All right. Last time we were 7-2 was 1996. We actually started the season 7-1. We finished the season 2-6 and missed the playoffs. We finished 9-7. That was the Terry Allen year. He had 21 touchdowns, and that was the year that Gus Frerotte made the Pro Bowl as a quarterback.
He sprained his neck also, right?
Do what?
Sprained his neck also, right?
No, that was the following year. That was in 97. I've actually, that whole game against the Giants that ended up in a 7-7 tie is on YouTube. And it is painful to watch because we literally just kicked their ass all over the field. It's the game, where Michael Westbrook yanked his helmet off on the field and threw it down, and it cost us. It kicked us out of field goal range. But if you want to know how bad this game was, all right, 7-7 tie. All right. We outgained them in total yards by over 100. They had 23 first downs. They're 18. We outgained them in time of possession by 8 minutes. We had 4 turnovers. That's why we lost the game. But, and that's because, Gus Frerotte went and jammed his neck. And then Jeff Hostetler came in and just threw 41 passes and only completed 19 of them. Westbrook was having a great game that game too. 9 catches, 225 yards, but threw his helmet off because he didn't get a penalty called, and they called a penalty on him for doing that. That one has stuck with me because I watched that game at 14 years old. I'm watching that game the whole way through. I had to go. It was a Sunday night game. I had to go to school the next day, and I was so tired and pissed.
Ravens just made a dope ass interception, by the way. Stevens dude on the Bengals in the end zone too. Some goal line, then Burrows threw interception. Burrows, I like Burrows, man. He's a good quarterback, man. I'm never gonna say he's not, but Burrows is living off of one good season ever though. The rest of his years are just good. Right, one great season and the rest are good seasons. You're right.
Kind of like Jayden. It's kind of like Jalen Hurts. Like they had that one great season.
Jalen Hurts has an efficient season. Yeah, he had one great year. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like they kind of live off that, and everything else is inconsistent. But if we're talking about some of these other
Lawrence like it too.
Do what?
Had that Lawrence for Jacksonville had that stupid ass great season like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was the worst quarterback in the league his rookie year. Then the next year he balled the fuck out. Then after that he just
So talking about weird collapses, things we got to avoid. Jim Zorn's first season.
Jim Zorn, 6 wins,
6-2.
6-2.
This is where I'm like, God, I do not need history repeating itself. 6-2. We go into a Monday night game against the Steelers where we had pretty much. It turns out we were selling tickets. The team was through ticket brokers in Pittsburgh. The entire stadium was black and gold. And we lost 23-6, dropped us to 6-3, and we finished the season 8-8.
By the way, I remember I talked about to Shotguns and about us not having a winning record for a long time. We had a winning record for a long time. We were saying our first 9 games, best start since '96. Yeah, not the best record, but best start. They That was a good year too, man. I remember we all had the feeling. We thought that, oh my God, Snyder found this guy nobody was looking at it, coach, and we thought we were on to something. Wrong. And he was basically like, fuck y'all niggas couches once he got in. Motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully we don't DeLorean our asses back to the future and do that again.
Well,
I do see a scenario though, Phil, where we lose. Like I've said this a bunch of times. I really do. I'm hoping we win, and I'm basing my thing on what I think we can be able to do. But it wouldn't surprise me if we dropped this one and the next one. It would not surprise me, man. And it doesn't mean that we're not good.
There's a little bit that we're kind of due to come back to earth a little bit if we're not as good as we think we are.
No, I think we're in playoff. I think that doesn't make us any less a playoff team. I have Philly still winning the division, dog, and I have us splitting with them. Just because they beat us this game, don't mean they're going to beat us the next one. We generally have a good showing against Philadelphia, dog. We usually don't play bad against Philadelphia.
Luck says hip hip hooray. He's probably Thorn. That's a George Allen thing too. George Allen's on this list too of big season collapses.
Yeah.
Yam says we're making him depressed with these memories. The good thing is if we lose the Steelers, it barely matters. It's true. Be right.
Yeah, I like to get out of these. We got 8 games left, man. If we win 4 of those, we'll have the best season that we've had in a long ass time, bro. Since Super Bowl season, 91. Yeah, Super Tecmo Bowl season, man.
Yeah, since we went Super Tecmo Bowl.
Super Tecmo Bowl, man. It was the best team on the video.
The crazy thing is, I'm looking here. And we had 2016. We started the season 6-3-1, finished 8-7-1, missed the playoffs. That was that game. I literally remember sitting in the group, and we were doing game chats in the Addicts group, and then just Fred Brown was absolutely losing his mind during that game. That Giants game where we missed the playoffs. The only other one I'll bring up. Because we got to talk about just the history that you need to not repeat. All right. We started the 1978 season. Right. Joe Theismann's our quarterback. We started 6-0. 6-0. And then we got to 7-2. And then we got to 8-3, and then we lost the final 5 games of the year.
Did not make the playoffs.
Did not make the playoffs. And we were a playoff team the previous year too, if I'm not mistaken.
I doubt it because we fired the coach previous year.
No, we were not a playoff team that year.
Right.
So that season, that 78 season, was Jack Pardee's first season as our coach. I thought it was George Allen's last. George Allen's last year before. 2 years before we were a playoff team, and then the year before that we were 9-5, but we missed the playoffs. But that was in a 14-game year. But anyway, some history for you. See, I'm cognizant of these things. The reason why I am is that those who don't know the history are doomed to repeat it, right? So you just gotta know.
It's like the same roots.
And always be adjusting, and always be staying one step ahead of your competition, right? And if you look at a lot of those teams, what happened is that I don't think they stayed ahead of their competition. Jay Gruden did not stay ahead of the competition. I know you hate it when I knock on Gruden, but they did not stay ahead of the competition in 2016. 2008, Zorn got figured out. 1996, that team was not 7-1 good. They just weren't there yet. They started off the season way hot, and they had a tough schedule at the end of the season.
That's how it is this year.
Yeah, is it really that tough?
I mean, I think the Dallas might be in tank mode by the last game of the year, and that's going to matter. I think they're going to be in tank mode. If I were Dallas, in fact, Dak might be gone for the season. CeeDee Lamb has a broken AC joint or some shit. If we lose 1 or 2 more games, and they're not there, I would highly recommend playing fucking Trey Lance and just running it, getting in and tanking for Shadir Sanders if I was Dallas. So that might be 2 wins that we have against Dallas this year. Now, we already swept the Giants. Now, if we could get 1 against Philly, dog, we could get either 1 against Philly and 1 against the Giants. If we get just out of the 4 division games left, if we get 2 of them, dog, then I'd be straight.
We already got the Giants twice. We already swept.
Yeah, I'm saying we got 4 more games left though. We got 2 against the Eagles and 2 against the fucking Cowboys. So we need 2 of those out of the 4, at least 2. I'd love to get all 4. I think we could get all 4. In fact, I think we should get all 4. But we're not going to get all 4, are we? Wouldn't that be jumping the gun? We're not going to we're not going to sweep the division.
I don't think
could that happen?
I can't make. There's no assumptions to be made here, so no, I'm not going to make assumptions.
Do you think it's possible that we sweep the division though?
It's possible.
Okay, I'm just focused on Pittsburgh, man.
After the last game,
I'm gonna just focus on Pittsburgh, man. Just beat Pittsburgh.
The beauty of this schedule in general has been you couldn't. Versus, we didn't know if we were good enough, so you couldn't overlook teams. Now it's, we're good enough, but we're facing good teams, with some exceptions. We play the Titans December 1st. We should whoop the Titans. The Saints, same thing.
Yeah.
So,
for most
those should be wins. You can't overlook anybody. Titans you don't overlook because you got a bye week next week. And then the Saints, you got 2 weeks to prepare. Those are back-to-back games. Well, back-to-back games, but it's over a 3-week span. Those are 2 wins right there. Really, but everybody else, you got to be geared up to play. And I think that's a good thing, especially heading into the playoffs. We're going to be a playoff team. You're battle-tested already. It makes you, good. But you got Steelers, Eagles, Cowboys, Titans, Saints, Eagles, Falcons, Cowboys. I'll be at that Falcons game, by the way. But... yeah, with a pretty decent prediction here, he thinks we'll sweep Dallas, but we'll split Philly. That's reasonable.
I think if we get 2 of them, man. There's also games against the Raiders. Who's left? Look, I think we got the Raiders or some sorry ass team left.
No, we got the Titans.
Titans, yeah, and somebody else. There's another bad team. Saints. So
that's what I'm talking about. Saints are week 13. We have a bye week 14, and week 15 we got the Saints. You should be winning those games. If you're as good as you think you are, you should win those games.
Tennessee Atlanta and the Eagles would be the only games that I think that I think we should probably maybe the underdogs in. And I don't even think we'll be underdogs in the Falcons game.
If we beat Philly the first time, we will not be underdogs the second time we play them.
If we beat the Steelers, we'll be projected to win against the Falcons. I think if we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, we'll be projected to win against Philly.
Well, let's keep in mind, Falcons this year are 6-3 themselves.
Right now,
but they're kind of winning games by the skin of their teeth.
They got Philly. They got Philly by 3 at home Thursday. It's on a short week too. It's on a short week after this game. We play Philly.
Yeah. Which means you can't overlook. I mean, I think that actually, it's in terms of focus, keeps you battle tested, right?
I wonder, man.
No time to sit back. But listen to this.
Are we just gonna stay in? Are we just gonna stay in Philadelphia while we're in Pittsburgh?
Well, no, because the Pittsburgh game's in Washington.
Oh fuck yeah! Right. God dang.
But here's the thing: the Falcons, 6-3, have a 5-point differential in points for and points against. They literally, if you look at expected wins and losses, they should be 5-4 or 4-5, right? They could be either way, right? They're a 500 team. If you look at the point differential, they've won a couple games short. They beat the Eagles by 1 point. They beat the Saints by 2 points. They beat the Buccaneers by 6. Now, they got some big ones. The Buccaneers again by 5. Dallas, they stomped on Dallas early, but Dallas came back. So, won that game by 6. So they're not really blowing teams out. Other than the Panthers, the Falcons haven't really run over anybody. And everybody's running over the Panthers. So, I don't know. Falcons, I feel like we could probably get a win, but they're one of those teams that's annoyingly tough. So,
well, they run the ball very well. That's the scary thing for us.
Deluxe says he believes Washington is third in point differential. I believe that is true. Ian says, I hope Dallas can beat Philadelphia at least once. I think that helps us greatly.
Falcons
absolutely correct.
The Falcons beat Philly 22-21.
if Dallas can beat Philly,
Falcons beat Philly. Falcons beat Philly week 2.
I'm talking about Dallas.
I don't know if Dallas even played.
So they haven't. I don't think they've played yet.
I'll look at it right now. I'll tell you right now.
Pretty sure the Eagles won.
They have not. They have not played. They have not played.
Have not played.
They played this week. They played this. Who they play? No Dak, no CD Lamb though. So
that's gonna be a tough one for them. But
yeah, they almost beat the 49ers. They almost beat the Eagles. They lost both them by. They got blind by lines. But they beat the Steelers. That's the Steelers' last loss though.
Look at the Philly schedule here. Philly beat the Packers by 5. They lost to the Falcons by 1. Beat the Saints by 3. Lost to the Buccaneers by 17. Barely beat the Browns by 4. They stomped the Giants 28-3. They stomped the Bengals 37-17. And they barely beat the Jaguars 28-23. I remember that game because I was like, oh my God, is Trevor Lawrence going to make a comeback?
If Cowboys beat the Steelers, are we better than the Cowboys? And the Steelers beat us, are we better than the Cowboys? If Cowboys beat the Steelers,
does not apply.
Just saying.
So let's ask if Giants have played Philly twice. No, they've only played them once. Philly plays the Giants the last game of the season for the second time.
We played the Cowboys
once. That'd be nice. If we can get the big thing is we need to beat Philly. It creates that game and a half cushion.
Yeah.
All right. So the only
Al's got a pretty tough schedule too, man.
Yeah, but the only way you can ensure you're in the playoffs is you just keep winning and let everybody else do what they're going to do. If you keep winning, you're facing teams. You're putting an L in their column. So I mean, if we go 4-4 over these last 8 games. It's still an 11-win season. We go 11-6. It's 11 wins for the first time since 1991. I would like to do better than that. I would like to be 5-3. I'd like to have 12 wins. I'm getting greedy.
Damn. What was your prediction? Because you're close.
I predicted 8 wins this season.
Did you? I thought you one of them crazy ones to pick 10 or some shit.
No, y'all. You and Steve picked 7.
I picked 6.
You picked 7.
I picked 6, man. I actually picked like 5, 7. But.
I'm gonna bring Steve on here next week. I'm gonna be like, Steve, how many wins did that predict?
Me and him picked the same thing.
Yeah, y'all picked 7 and 10. I said 8 and 9. Because that was the thing, is I was one game more than y'all. I was a little more optimistic. But yeah, I think that I would love for us to get 12 wins. I think you pull a 12-win season, like there's an automatic respect level in this league. Like 11's cool. 12 for some reason, that's just like now you're up in that upper echelon. And right now, I think we have the 5th best odds to win the Super Bowl. We have the 5th best odds to win the Super Bowl.
Put some money on it.
Do it because the current favorites by a long shot are the Chiefs. And the Chiefs just keep pulling stuff out of their ass because they're not a dominating team. They're 8-0, right? And we have a better point differential than they do. Now, granted, if I got to play the Falcons and teams like that, it'd be one thing. But they win games like there's no blowout wins, and they're 8-0, right? You want to have the Chiefs have won games? Won by 7, won by 1, won by 5, 7, 13, 10, 7, and 6.
That's basically how the Ravens have lost their games.
And the first game against the Ravens, they beat them 27-20.
Right. They should have
they're not even stomping teams like the Raiders. They're just getting by. But I guess that's what makes them so good.
I think Mahomes has more interceptions than touchdowns up until the last game. I think he had more interceptions than touchdowns. He got like 7 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, or something crazy.
Know how to pull it out, and I think that's where a lot of the conspiracy theories about it's rigged for the Chiefs come into play because they always win these close games. There's always some ref ball involved and all that, but I don't know. The Chiefs are still talented and they're well coached. So I don't know how much.
That's why we just got a star that wins games, and we need some of that. We need Jayden to get some of these benefit of the doubt calls.
You know what? You kind of seen it once in a while. I think that there is going to be some of that for us. If Jayden finished out the season as the greatest rookie of all time. Most. I mean, like I said, he's already third in the most.
Bo Jackson had a good rookie year.
If he finishes with like 10, 11 rookie of the week awards, you gotta look at him as one of the best rookie years ever. And this team turning around the way it's looking like they will. We were 4-13 last year. Can you imagine if we went 13-4?
Could happen.
Could happen. Not saying it will, people. Don't call that a prediction. Just imagine. Just these are the things that you don't expect it, but it is within the realm of possibility. None of these teams we play in the final 8 games are unbeatable. Not the way we've been playing. And not the way they've been playing. But these are all good teams we're really playing, except for the Titans and the Saints. 6 of these last 8 games are going to be tough ones. But we can beat all these teams. Yam says, when was the last time we had 10 wins? Yam, the last time we had 10 wins was 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Be right laughing. I think he likes my optimism. But I mean, can you imagine if we went something like 13-4, something ridiculous this season? Jayden Daniels is the greatest rookie of all time. You imagine what the ref ball is going to be for us in future years? This Jayden's going to become one of the faces of the league. He's already pacing that way. So, and as far as I know, Jayden don't put ketchup on his steak. So that automatically, to me, makes him better than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
Ketchup on your steak. Patrick Mahomes, you are a grown-ass man. Don't put ketchup on your steak. Show you how to, season that shit. Maybe put some A1. Maybe get some of that mushroom sauce they got at medium rare up in Arlington. That's a DC reference for you guys. If you have not been to medium rare, by the way, I do suggest you take a trip to Arlington. I think there's one in downtown DC as well. And there's one in like suburban Maryland. Medium rare. Great joint. Great steak. They have a special like kind of mushroomy sauce. Delicious. Anyway. But yeah, B Rice says that'll be crazy. If we get 13 wins, I'm not saying we will. I'm not predicting this. I don't want that put on me. And then it's gonna be like, oh, we fell apart and it's Phil's fault. I'm just saying. I don't want. I just there is that possibility, and it warms me somewhere right around this area. Deluxe says Kenny Powers would put ketchup on his steak. Well, that's true. Kenny Powers had an arm like a rocket and a cock like a Burmese python, right?
What did Adam Rank have us, man, losing again? Yep.
Adam Rank has us losing again.
Bitch ass niggas.
Yam says if we only win 2 more games all year, I just want both of them to be versus Dallas. No, I want to beat Philly. Because Philly fans think that we're frauds. I want to beat Philly. I want to sweep the division. If we only sweep the division, that'll be fine because I'll still get us to 11 wins. God, my Twitter timeline is full of it today. But anyway,
are the new additions for Pittsburgh Steelers going to play?
Don't know. That I haven't seen any word on that. I'm seeing some wild shit on Twitter right now.
I always see some wild shit on Twitter.
Yeah,
we're wearing the red. I guess
apparently,
the red pants, red top.
Apparently, they're sending around text messages claiming to be from the Trump administration, saying that you have been selected to be a house slave at Abingdon Plantation, as you'll come to this address at 5 a.m. tomorrow to start with all your belongings. This is mandatory. Our executive spaces will come get you in a turquoise van. Like, really? Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing, people? Anyway. Nonetheless, people, be good to each other. Move on with your lives. Your bills are still going to be due. Deluxe says you'll never not hear Kenny Powers when you see Mahomes interviews once you watch it. No, you're right, Deluxe. I do hear it. That's the problem. Be right. Having a good laugh at this too. Yam says peace out. Hack the planet, F the world. Oh, yeah. Spoken like somebody from the 90s. Hack the planet. Anyway, I think we're going to call it a night. I'm going to go check out all the wild stuff on Twitter. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the game on Sunday. And we'll be back Monday, 8:35, to recap this game, hand out Glock Dookie Awards, and have all kinds of fun shenanigans after what we hope will be a victory Monday. Y'all take care. And as Steve always say, peace, hail,